Hello, welcome to Chew on This, a food talk show with Malaysia's top culinary talent, exploring the many influences our palate has on our personality through food, drink, and banter. I'm Tian, and I'll be your host into this world of good eats and gastronomy. Today, I'm incredibly happy to have Raymond Tham of Beta and Skillet, both in KL, and Cuisine of Aposto and Sarah by Aposto, both restaurants in TTDI, here in the studio with me today, as we talk about just what the big deal is with contemporary cuisine or modern food. I've been following these two reputable chefs' careers and culinary evolutions since I was a young magazine reporter, and it has been such a pleasure to witness the continued growth of these two creative individuals. I know these guys are normally really busy, so I just want to say a big thank you to Chef Raymond and Chu for coming in today and just hanging out in the studio. But yes, I'd like to introduce my first guest today, Raymond Tham, the chef, owner, and founder of modern Malaysian restaurant Beta and modern European restaurant Skillet. For those who have not met Raymond, they may be surprised to find that he was a long-time hospitality professor in KDU. And at the end of 2023, Raymond and his team at Beta also managed to be awarded with their first Michelin star. Congrats again, Raymond.
Thank you.
So Raymond, for those of us who have never been to Beta or Skillet, can you explain a little bit about your restaurants and yourself?
My name is Raymond. I'm the chef and the owner of Skillet and Beta. So we opened Skillet 9 years ago. Skillet is focused in modern European cuisine, and the flavors or the ingredients actually inspired by the seasons. Yeah, that is a Skillet. And for Beta is a modern Malaysian. So for the name Beta is number 2, Alpha Beta in Greek, is also our second baby. Then in the Bahasa context, the king will normally address himself as Beta. So we believe that everybody should eat like a king. We actually create the menus according to the region of Malaysia, be it the flavors or the ingredients that source. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
We do a lot of cocktail pairing in Beta, and yeah.
Right. So I was actually going to recommend to the listeners, those who have never been to Beta, I have 2 tips for them and wants to go and try Raymond's food. That number 1, if they go to Beta, they have to get extra tapioca bread because that is one of my favorite bread courses, you know. And yes, I was just going to talk about that cocktail pairing because I love some of the flavors you do with the rice wine. You're pairing your dishes. Yeah, absolutely, give that a try. And then we have happy to introduce my second guest on the show, Cuisine, the founder and chef patron of Aposto and Sarah by Aposto. Aposto is Chu's first ever venue, where he and his team introduced contemporary twists from Asian and European cuisine into Italian classics. For those who have never visited your restaurants, would you mind introducing yourself and just telling us what your restaurants are?
All right. So my name is Cuisine. I'm the chef and founder of Aposto as well as Sarah by Aposto. So Aposto is a modern Italian restaurant, and what we do there is we take the Italian classics and then I give it a spin to make it a bit more interesting in terms of flavors as well as techniques. Hence, that's where the modern Italian comes into. The name Aposto is taken from a response to an Italian greeting, tutto posto, which means it's all good. So in Aposto, basically the whole concept is when you come in, it's all good. And for Sarah, which is the second restaurant which just opened in December last year, so very, very new. Aposto is a fast-paced, high-energy space. And then we wanted something a little bit more intimate, a bit more slowed down. So we decided to open Sarah by Aposto, taken from the word Buonasera, good evening. So in Sarah, it's also modern Italian, but in a more delicate setting. It's more intimate. The main focus is on the private rooms, but we also have a very nice lounge for drinks.
Thanks for the explanation. So I've had the pleasure of going to both restaurants. I would say my recommendation for the listeners out there, if you're planning to go to Aposto, you have to order the braised duck pasta. I think since day one, when Chu and the team at Aposto introduced it, I think it was 16 hours back then. And then I peeked at your menu recently and I saw it's changed to 18 hours. I was like, oh. So you got a whole upgrade of 2 hours. Now it must be even better. Yeah, you have to try the braised duck pasta. Fantastic. It's like a restaurant signature. And also for whiskey lovers out there, Sarah by Aposto has a potluck dining room with a whiskey pairing menu that's very enjoyable. I like that whole dimension of tasting the different whiskeys and the dishes you've created to pair with those,
Yeah, so that's really good. We are also ambassadors of Potluck, which is a very, very nice whiskey brand. So right now we're doing like a 5-course pairing menu together with Potluck whiskeys. So usually when we talk about food, it's always wine pairing And with whiskey itself, it gets a little bit more tricky, I would say, because the flavors of the whiskey are very detailed and very focused. So trying to come up with a menu that actually pairs with whiskey sometimes can get a bit more challenging than wine pairing, I'd say. So we're very proud of this whiskey pairing menu that we have right now.
How do you guys meet, and what's the story behind that?
So I've always heard about Raymond. He's sort of one of the pillars of the food industry in KL, being chef lecturer, and then he's known as the chocolate man.
Yep.
All right. So, his name was already in town much, much longer than what I could remember. And when he came to the restaurant, we were like, oh shit, this guy, got to make sure the food is good. So that's how I met Raymond.
I see. Okay, for those who don't understand the reference, explain why you're called the chocolate man, Raymond.
Oh, I was a pastry trained. So when I moved back to Malaysia, I was a lecturer. And then after that, I was the ambassador for one of the world's biggest chocolate company. So looking after the whole Asia Pac market. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, definitely well-earned nickname than Chocolate Man. Okay, so today's episode theme is all about modern food, contemporary cuisine. And so why are we talking about contemporary cuisine? Well, of course, because both of you run two modern restaurants. So let's start with the basics before we jump in. What is contemporary cuisine? Maybe you guys have a different point of view. Can you explain it to me and the audience and me, please, in your own words? When we start with Raymond.
For me, is using traditional to innovate it to become modern. It can be sourcing of the ingredients, probably can be global. Then technique-wise, maybe using sous vide or freeze dry. Always trying to push the boundaries. For traditional, for me, it's more like you are passing through the heritage from people before you. Yeah, so you just actually continue doing it.
I see. And how about you, Chu?
So I think Raymond has captured sort of the gist of what modern food is. So what modern cuisine is to me is that the journey of food and the journey of time. So using, number one is techniques, and techniques, which is the big thing, how things were done traditionally, but because now we've got all this new equipment and new ideas and techniques, how do we innovate and make things better, faster? All right, and the other is the growth of ingredients, as he's also mentioned, globally as well. How food has also evolved over time. Like when we're talking about, because I run an Italian restaurant, so when we talk about Italian food, it's always pasta. But when we look back into history, pasta came from China in a way. And how Italian food is one of the symbolic ingredients is tomatoes, right? It's on pizza, it's on pasta. But tomatoes didn't originally grow in Italy. It was started in South Africa. So how food traveled and how the ingredients are taken up by the culture, as well as actually in modern day in Malaysia, we never used to be able to grow tomatoes, but now with techniques and innovation, they've managed to start growing a lot of good tomatoes in Cameron Highlands. So that's what modern food is.
Yeah, I think that's you summed it up perfectly. I like to think of modern food as well as like you're right. So that breaking down of international boundaries, right? Where last time we were limited by logistics of how we can bring produce to us, and now we can have so many different types of things. We can have mangoes from different Japan. We can have dates from the Middle East, and it's amazing. So we live in such a great time, especially as modern day consumers and diners, I guess. So yes, on that note, it's customary on Chew on This to have appetizers that fit the theme of our discussion today, and that's like the snack portion of the food. And in tune with today's snacks, I've brought 3 snacks that I think represent the symbol of modernity, and that to me is canned food. In this modern era, we have easy access to mostly any food we want to eat, whether it's kangaroo meat from Australia or sugary snacks from the US. Well, we can have it on demand, right? And I've noticed that canned food is very popular because they have emergency situations there sometimes. And because of that, they've made an abundance of canned food that I think is quite interesting. And today I've prepared a 3-course meal solely on canned food. And I'd like to bring it up and show you guys before we open the can and do a little bit of a taste. If you don't mind, I get my team to pass me the cans, please. Thank you. So we're going to start off with a dashi maki, which is a dashi sauce egg roll omelette. You guys are familiar with this, right? What do you think about the first course so far?
Canned eggs.
Never tried before.
Well, it's canned eggs. I don't know how good it can be, but yep, that's if I'm suffering,
Maybe
you guys are suffering with
smell
me.
like farts or something.
Oh gosh! And then for the next course, we have canned butter chicken and a tuna tail meat. So for the canned butter chicken, they're all Japanese. This one's from a company called Inaba.
I think this one should be okay because we have a curry chicken in a can. You know.
Yeah, you can't really go wrong with butter chicken or curry chicken, you know, in a can. How bad can it be? And then we also have a fish choice, tail meat of the tuna in a bit of shoyu sauce. I think this also should be...
Like canned sardine? Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
The packaging looks really premium,
Yeah.
so looks pretty good from the can.
This looks like a caviar packaging, you know.
Yeah, it looks premium. It looks premium compared to the dashi maki a bit. And then for dessert, we have chocolate cake in a can. I thought this would be a safe dessert to eat. You can't really mess up chocolate cake, right? Yeah, let's take a look. It's just a simple can.
I think this should be okay. Yeah.
You're the chocolate man, so you will be the best judge of whether this chocolate cake will be delicious.
Averagely, just chocolate alone got like a 2 years shelf life. So,
And it's the safest flavor, you would say?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, give us a second. Let's go prepare this into some plates for us to eat. All right. So the first up, we have the canned tamago yaki. I'm a bit worried, but it looks actually legit like tamago yaki.
It looks pretty legit.
Yeah.
For those at home, take it out. Take a look. It looks, except drenched in a bit of a preservative, I guess. So who was brave enough to take the first bite?
Actually smells pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, not bad. It's quite good.
It tastes legit like dashimaki
Yeah.
eggs. If you secretly didn't show me that this came out in a can, I would, hey,
This is my lunch.
it's pretty not bad. It tastes like you get that hint of dashi.
The light umami and
The eggs flavor is still there. It doesn't taste. It tastes like it was just cooked not too long ago.
Yeah, you can still taste the eggs. It's not like just soy sauce or the dashi sauce all the way through. Texture still all right. Feels like a little bit of overcooked eggs, but it's not bad.
it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm very surprised. Color me surprised.
I would eat this on a bowl of rice.
For canned eggs, I think this is good.
Yeah, just completely blew my expectations. Yeah,
Is it
very good.
Maybe some sake inside as well.
Maybe I don't know. I should find out, but it doesn't say on there. Like normally when they sell and there's sake inside, you have to. I think by Malaysian law they have to put a saying this is not halal. It doesn't say so though.
I was expecting it to smell like
And
fart.
you know what?
Yeah.
And the cherry on top of the cake is this whole thing is only 85 calories. This whole can of dashimaki eggs, not bad. And there's 4 big chunks. Yeah.
Okay. This is quite good.
Yeah, I like it. So Raymond, we've tried the eggs. They're surprisingly not bad, pretty good. What would you rate this? 1 out of 10.
For me, I would rate 7.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's very high. I was
Yeah.
going to say 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I think yes. For me,
Because I'm quite surprised, the texture wise, and eggs contain water as well. So after a while, right, it might leak out because the water, and I think it hold it pretty well, and it remain the texture in there. Yeah, maybe they might be a bit over with the egg, so it's actually a bit there's a lot of holes in there. Yeah,
I see.
for me overall good.
Right, yeah. I would say, solid 6.5.
Yeah.
It was good for camping food, I would say.
Easy, convenient, and it doesn't taste bad.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's have the next course. The main course, we have the fish option first. The tuna tail meat in shoyu. Thank you. Look at that.
Canned tuna.
Smells like tuna.
Does it taste like tuna?
You get your taste first.
So this is tuna in shoyu.
It's nice.
Feels like it's cooked already.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's quite tender. For those who can't see, it's just chunks of tuna meat with swimming them, kind of like a almost thick
Oil.
broth. Oil?
Oil.
What do you guys think?
Flavor is good, but I feel it's really tough.
But this is a tail part, right?
So,
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be lean meat.
Are you going to prepare a can of rice later?
Canned rice. Did you buy canned rice?
Oh my God, no, I didn't buy canned rice.
So we
guys.
can just mix everything together.
Like a chop pan.
You failed us, dear.
Sorry. Man, I'm gonna buy canned rice next time. Okay. No. I was not
Is it
expecting.
really got a nice saucy,
Yeah. My bad.
Just pour some hot water, you have a dashi broth.
Okay, so this one, 1 out of 10, Raymond, 1 to 10, what would you
Okay,
rate?
this is much better than just now. Okay, since I already give 7.5 just now, this one I have to give 8 really.
Okay, 8, solid 8. Chu, how about you?
This is actually really good. I love the flavors. My only gripe is the tuna is very, very tough. So just comparing with the local canned tuna that we have, it's a lot more tender.
Our local canteen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, our local or Ayam brand or whatever that is. But the flavor is really, really good. So I want to say a good solid 8 out of 10.
Wow. Excuse me.
But I like that bite though.
There's a bit of a resistance.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say 8 out of 10 for me. 8 out of 10 for me. It's yeah, you're right. You need a bit of rice, Raymond. We should have that next time. All right, on to the next course. We have butter chicken. There's not a lot of meat inside actually. There's like only 2 or 3 or 4 chunks of chicken inside here. How does it smell?
Oh, smells
The
pretty
spices,
legit
yeah.
actually.
It smells quite tomato-y.
How does this taste?
I'm gonna take a. Meat's a bit tough, but the flavor is there. Not very spicy.
Japanese level of spiciness.
Oh yeah.
But
It's-
generally,
It's
butter
spicy but not hot.
It says 2 out of 5 chilies. Do you agree? It's like 1 chili.
One.
one. Malaysian
Yeah.
level 1, maybe 0.5.
So what do you think? Maybe some things you like and what you don't like about this chicken curry in a can?
Flavor's okay, but if you want to call this a butter chicken, I think it kind of misses the mark a bit. Onions are good. Chicken texture feels like canned chicken. So it's about right.
I've actually never had. Have you had canned chicken before? The texture of the meat.
I remember the canned chicken that I had it like local can. It's like so almost mushy.
Yes.
Mushy.
Yeah. Somehow
Like
There's
mashed
my-
potato mushy.
it's
Yes.
cooked and pressurized, almost like powdery.
But probably that was the last can that I had it. Maybe when I was like 10 years old.
Right. So
When my parents is not at home, you know.
ate the canned chicken. Tuna meat better than this. What's the rating like for this one?
I think I prefer the tuna. This is not bad as well.
1 to 10?
Then I will put 7.6.
7.6. Okay.
This guy is generous with his ratings, man.
No, because I really put the benchmarking
Ah, yeah.
it's so high already.
Everything's high on
Yeah,
his end.
so yeah.
Okay.
This is probably like a 4.5 for me.
4.5 for you.
Yeah.
Would you choose this or the tuna meat if you had to pair it with rice?
Definitely the tuna meat.
The eggs or this one?
The eggs.
Oh. So this is the lowest right now?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. I would give this like a 5. It's not bad, but it's not whatever we tried today here is like
It's not bad.
I actually expected this to perform the best.
Oh.
But yeah, I guess I can't judge a can by its can cover, I guess. Okay, let's try the last course. We have dessert. We have chocolate cake in a can. Chocolate cake for the chocolate man. So these guys...
I retired from chocolate industry for a long time already.
Texture looks really dry from the can.
nope.
No, because they are using cocoa powder though. It's not like the couverture chocolate based on the ingredients.
I see.
So if you're looking for that kind of couverture taste, you will not look for.
Not only that, the texture of the cake is not really cake. It's like
I think they soak something inside. I don't.
to make it last, is it?
Yeah.
This is like
Or
the
to
worst for
keep-
me today.
Keep it.
I thought this would be the best.
I thought it would be the safest
Yeah.
option.
You can't mess up chocolate cake. You know?
Okay, I think I know how many I want to give.
Your rating?
How many marks?
Yeah, please tell us what's your rating.
I think this one I have to give 1.
1, of course, from the chocolate expert.
If I was in the bunker in an apocalypse, and that's what this all canned food is coming around from, yeah, probably last on the list. So maybe a 2.
2.
Maybe a 2.
Oh, wow. Really low, guys. Okay, I was going to give it like a 3, but I feel like I'm missing out. So maybe like a 2.5, 3. It's not that bad. It's not that sweet either. But yes, actually, I was going to ask you guys, if you were, zombie apocalypse, you're stuck in a bunker, would you eat this? Like you said it was last on your list, right?
To survive, yes.
Or to make yourself feel more happy.
So, okay, in terms of everything we tried today, 1 to 4. Best tasting to least favorite tasting.
For me, the first one I like is the tuna, then followed by for me, it will be the butter chicken. Because I think the way how they cook that butter chicken is more towards the Japanese taste or the Japanese flavor, is more milder. Yeah, because I think it's for their market. Then will be the eggs. Then this will be the least for me.
Okay, fair enough. How about you, Chu?
Tuna number 1, then the eggs, butter chicken, then this sad last.
Yeah, sad, man. This is a complete surprise. All right, yeah. Okay, thanks guys for indulging.
I need to let my previous company, hey, you guys go propose them, give them a better recipe.
You think you can make one better in the can?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, we wait for Beta's chocolate cake in a can.
When I retire from the restaurant, I will just put all my efforts in the canned food.
Yes, excellent. I'll wait for that. Because my bar is very, very low now. All right, so we're going to move on to the next segment. So this is a little segment I like to call Talk the Talk. It's a bit more topical. We're going to focus on three topics that I've kind of created in line with today's theme. And let's start off with the first question. I want to ask you guys how you feel modern cuisine differs from traditional cuisine. What's the difference? We're going to start with you, Raymond.
So the traditional cuisine is more like from the heritage. I mean, the past one from your previous generation. And then you probably just follow, and whatever the ingredients wise, whatever is in the seasons, then you will use it or what is available. Yeah, of course, if you live from the coast, probably you will probably cook more of the seafood. If you're on the mountain, probably you'll cook something with vegetable that for that season. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for me, modern cuisine is still, we actually take the traditional as a reference, and from there we just innovate it through. For me, it will be through my own, experiences, or maybe sometime I travel to somewhere, I will actually incorporate this in as well. And with the modern equipment or modern technique that available now, so it actually, in a way, that helping us or helping me to modernize it.
I think the word reference from the traditional is very key here. But with modern food, right, what used to be traditional will always be traditional, the classics, for example, but modern will become old school as well. For example, Backstreet Boys is known as old school now, all right? Those were our days. So what we're doing now, which is modern, in 5-10 years' time is going to be, they used to do it this way back in the day. So it's important to preserve the heritage in the culture, but just to in line with the new ingredients or the modernization of techniques and things like that. I think that's where the modernization comes. Yeah, so it's more about what traditional is more about heritage and culture.
Right, okay. So can you guys give me an example of what you're talking about, where, for example, a dish, for example, in either context in both your restaurants, that has traditional roots but through modern techniques and ingredients that maybe are not found in that cuisine traditionally, you've introduced ways to jazz it up or refresh?
For me, I like bobo cha-cha, but I think there's always an issue for me if I eat too much coconut milk or coconut cream. Maybe for many people as well, because it's a bit too heavy, and so we actually came up, my team and I actually came up with a dessert that we wanted to do our version of the bobo cha-cha. So we basically infuse a pandan into a coconut cream. After that, we foam it out. We just scoop the foam as well only. Then we freeze it, and then we finish them off in the nitro. So there is a bobo cha-cha element that the soul of the bobo cha-cha, but it's much more lighter version, and in terms of the temperature as well, because it's very, very cold, then we serve with a warm sauce.
How about you, Chu?
Coming back to the duck pasta dish that you talked about earlier on. So the duck is braised for 18 hours. But instead of braising it in an oven or in a pot, we use the sous vide method. So vacuum packing the ducks in its own brine, and then it gets cooked down for 18 hours. So using the sous vide, it's temperature controlled, time controlled. So the accuracy is there. We sort of eliminate the guessing game once the recipe has been developed. So consistency is there. And that's how I use the modernization in our recipes.
I see. Those are great examples. But it seems to me that, you said that part of modern cuisine is respecting its traditional roots. So how would you know when you've gone too far?
When your guests tell you.
I see. Is there a dish you guys have gone too wild with, making it too modern, and you're like, okay, I think I've gone too mad?
I will still try to remind myself that, so I love the traditional flavors, yet I think I also like to innovate things. So far, I don't think that I've gone too far yet.
Okay, still not crazy scientist yet. Level.
So with Aposto, I think because it's Italian food, I'm guessing most of my recipes will let the old Italian grandmas rise from the grave and smack me at the back of my head. But the thing with it is, I'm not trying to disrespect the food. I'm not trying to disrespect the traditions. So what I'm trying to do is taking the whole idea and concept of Italian food and just doing it my way, my interpretation of it. It's not to say that what the classics done are bad or lousy. It's just, I like to do it this way because I'm not Italian. I have my own upbringing, just as everyone has. So their interpretation of something would be a little bit different from someone else. So what I'm putting on the plate is my experiences of what I thought something can be and could be on a plate. So that's what I'm doing.
I think this happened to Massimo Bottura as well. But when I dine in Massimo Bottura, for me it's like, wow. Yeah. So, but again, the taste can be, depends on the individual as well. Can be a preference as well.
Right. So, this common thing that I'm hearing from both of you is that experience plays a large part in shaping that contemporary aspect of your cooking, right? So how do you get this experience? Is it, through your travels? Is it through when you were cooking in other restaurants, learning from other chefs?
For me, it's all depending though. It can be travel, or it can be just something that I just thought of, or some accidents happen in the kitchen, and then maybe we come up with this, and like the bread, for instance, the bread that you mentioned. Of course, back then I was a pastry chef. I told my team, I said, let's do a bread without yeast. Actually, there's no yeast inside. We just push the boundaries, and so all of us just give some thought, how are we going to make a bread without yeast, but we still want to have a texture like a sourdough kind of texture. We want it to be a very elastic kind of texture. So from there, when we have the question or we will put in something, then everybody will try to break their head to think, hey chef, why not we do this? That kind of thing. So I don't sometimes just have a lot of fun because I have a lot of young chefs in my kitchen, and then I say, okay, why not we just do this and see what happens.
I think experience plays a part in most of the things we do, and this experience can not just only where you work, but also how you grew up, what your family is, but it can be also very random situations that you face. Like I'm driving to work, I'm thinking, I want to eat some pan min, the hand pulled pan min, and I see a delivery truck with a picture of a crab on it. I'm like, what if this combined with that? And that's where inspiration can come. It can come from anywhere, out of the blue.
That's cool. Yeah, the inspiration can strike anytime. It's part of our creative process, I guess, thanks for sharing, guys. It's very insightful. My second topic is on the top, while we're talking about having a modern kitchen, cooking contemporary food, I want to ask, what are three appliances that a modern kitchen, such as your kitchens, your restaurant's kitchens, would favor instead of a more traditional tool or technique? Maybe because, like you say, you sous vide the duck because it's more there's consistency, less room for error. What are three techniques or tools that have replaced traditional methods?
Sous vide, definitely one of it.
So sous vide machine?
Yeah. I don't know, Thermomix.
Is it a thermometer?
Thermomix, so it blend and
high-speed
then,
blender.
High-speed blender. You can control the temperature. You can, that one I think is quite helpful. Many housewives also have it at home now. it become not so modern already. Yeah.
The combi oven.
Yeah.
Combination oven.
Yeah, so you can bake, you can steam, you can do a half bake, half steam situation going on in the oven.
Oh.
So it opens up a lot more possibilities.
Right. So, I mean, before sous vide machines became the norm, what would you guys do?
Just a very, very classic way, by fuel.
By feel.
Yeah, cook by feel. But I think sometimes it's going to be good or bad as well. Because eventually a lot of the young chefs will rely too much on the equipment. So when without the equipment, right, they can't cook anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't cook with the fuel anymore. Everything is like by the ruler or thermometer.
So would you say it's part of the dangers of modernizing the way we cook as well?
I think have to be balanced.
Definitely
have to balance.
You need to have good, solid basics. Then from the basics, you have your foundation, then you can build a lot more. One more of the more controversial equipment in the kitchen, I think it's quite important, microwave.
Microwave. Why is that so controversial?
A lot of people like, chefs using microwaves, that's not right. It's not safe, not healthy. But I think the microwave can offer a lot of benefits if you use it right. We're not cooking everything in the microwave, but sometimes heating up certain items, small quantities, it's a lot more controlled. And
milk chocolate.
Wow.
Exactly.
What other,
no water.
Okay, maybe microwave gets a bit of a bad rep.
Yes.
So to clear some air, maybe you can tell us what uses it has in a professional, kitchen and how it can help. Actually, it's not so bad,
Yeah, I think, for example, if you want to heat up some sauce that you already have prepared, in a pot, if you heat it up over heat, it's going to burn on the sides. You're going to reduce it too much. Flavors are going to change. In a microwave, you can just heat it up, small amounts, 30 seconds, beep. It's warm. You're happy. There's no evaporation. So controlled, depending on how you use it. If you're trying to cook everything in a microwave, then that's another issue.
Yeah, I don't think we want to experience that. But anyway, so, of the three appliances and techniques you guys mentioned, if people were to remove that away from your kitchen today, you think it would be
okay?
Really?
Yeah, because I was trained before all this kind of equipment. In fact, sometimes I don't know how to use this kind of technology. I'm an uncle. Even, when I was apprentice back then, 20 plus years ago, to learn a tempered chocolate, right, we only allowed to use thermometer once or twice, that's it.
Oh.
And the rest is by feeling. Because, when it comes to chocolate, if you're over 1 to 2 degrees Celsius, it just ruin it. So back then, back in England and everything, my seafood, my chef will, just allow probably 1 or twice and that's it. The rest is by feel.
Oh. Okay, so, you shared a bit about modern techniques and appliances that, are normal across modern kitchens today. But what about the more, like you said, there needs to be balance, right? It cannot just be new. There needs to be traditional. So maybe you can tell me 3 tools or techniques that are, traditional, like perhaps knife work, that you just cannot replace. Modernity cannot replace. It's just timeless. It's how chefs do things.
This is very hard.
I think from because we do a lot of the tumis, the spices, I think that we still need to do it in a very classic or traditional way, though. Yeah, because I can't think of a modern way. I don't know, maybe it's a robot hand to me, but maybe it tastes different because, the human's hand somehow, right, make things taste differently. I don't know.
Really?
It's very difficult for me to explain. Things come from, the manufacturing thing, right? It feels cold, I still feel the human's hand, right, for sure. Yeah, when we talk about a chocolate, if machine make a chocolate or bonbon or whatever, straight away you can taste, you know, compared to a handmade one. So I think the human's hand is something that cannot replace.
Okay. So the actual human element, you would say, is irreplaceable.
Yeah.
Any what other techniques or tools?
Mortar and pestle, because sometimes if you use blender too much, also might be over blend as well.
Mortar and pestle, that's a classic tool.
This is quite tough, this
It's a tough question because a lot of technology now replaces most of the techniques that we have. And also with technology improving, there's more tools, there's super useless tools that come out.
Such as?
I don't know, too many. And the banana cutter or something like that.
Right, yes, there's a cutter for everything. Every specific fruit, there's a type of like special cutter, right? Yeah. Maybe, would you say knives, your chef's knives are something that just cannot be replaced by modernity because of the way it's, you learn the technique of how to cut versus a robot cutting a vegetable, for example.
Yeah, I think so.
Chef's knives. How many do you have?
No, I don't have many knives.
Is it like one of those things when you open up, it's like a roll of knives?
For me, just a few.
Just a few, yeah. I used to have a lot and then just cut down.
Probably my young chef have a more expensive knife than I do.
I see. Well, a better tool doesn't make a better artist, right?
Yep.
Okay, last question. Bit of out of left field here, but I swear it's related to the theme. Okay, you're on a game show and you're going to be sent to a small deserted island where you'll be the only inhabitant for 1 year to win a prize of 1 million. The catch is they will send you resources and food to eat. There's going to be a medical team on standby just in case your health, you're in danger. But don't worry, it's all safe. Just you and the island, very small island. The catch is you can only choose one food to bring with you, where the show will keep sending you the same food. You choose this one food. So for 365 days, you have to choose one shelf-stable modern food to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What would you choose?
Can I go fishing?
No, you gotta eat this food.
It's on the island.
Okay, fine. Maybe you can fashion gear to fish, but you still have to rely on this while you don't have the fishing skills yet, right? Maybe.
I am going with Maggi mee curry.
Maggi mee curry.
That is, it's modern, but it's comfort food to me as well. So it's something that I can eat every day.
Oh, I like that as well.
So both of you would choose instant noodles.
Yeah, instant noodles. I think most likely.
Both also curry flavor.
I like curry flavor. So if I manage to catch some fish or seafood, curry,
this is the problem asking chefs questions, because they don't think about this of one food. They're like thinking, maybe I should source some vegetables. Maybe I should catch some fish.
And then the coconut, then you make it more creamy.
So yeah, this guy's next level, man.
yeah. I'm thinking about survival here, guys. It's just like eat,
he's on holiday.
Yeah. It's holidays. 1 year holiday.
It's supposed to be a game show. It's supposed to be challenging. So yeah, how would you even prepare the instant noodles? If you get packets of you don't have a bowl, hollow out coconut, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Start
then
a fire,
boil the water, put it in the coconut.
Is there any water supply?
Well, yeah, you get fresh water.
You get water.
Okay.
Maybe like a stream, not like bottled water sent to you. Yeah, it's a clean stream on the island.
Okay, done.
So 365 days, Maggi mee is no problem.
For me, no problem. I want to say canned food, but I think Maggi mee is probably a safe bet for me.
I think I'll get sick of instant noodles in second week.
For $1 million?
You tough it out.
Probably hate instant noodles after that, but you'll be fine.
Yeah, probably hate instant noodles. Okay, well, thanks for sharing. So on to the next part of the show. It's a small game. It's a game section where we interchange different types of games depending on the episode. And today is a very simple game that I like to call Trader Joe's. So do you guys know what Trader Joe's is?
Yep.
It's an American a specialty food store where they repackage foods and they call it like an in-house brand, kind of like Aldi.
Okay.
Yeah, you know Aldi?
Okay.
Yeah, so where Trader Joe's, you go to a store and you shop for food. My Trader Joe's is nothing like that. It's just really an excuse for me to ask you guys to bring snacks and find out why you chose the snacks. The whole idea is for you to trade snacks in the spirit of sharing. So I want to know what you guys brought today for each other. And I'll ask you some questions. Okay, Raymond. This is Raymond's snack. It's a shiitake mushroom crisps. Smoked
freeze-dry, actually.
Oh, it's freeze-dried? Smoked chili and garlic. So this is your modern snack that you chose.
Yeah.
Okay, please.
Because I quite like the freeze dry technique. So it actually preserves the flavors, the texture. Yeah. And this is healthy. Yeah.
Is it a special reason why you chose this? It's yummy and it's healthy?
Yeah, part of it. Because I think nowadays everyone, like after the Chinese New Year, trying to be a bit more healthy.
Yeah. So
For at least for a few months.
have you actually? Is this something you normally snack on while watching TV or?
No, I will eat traditional snacks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So in terms of modern snacks versus traditional snacks, more traditional for you?
Yeah, because it actually I like those nostalgic snacks that reminds my childhood, and if I see certain things that I had it during my childhood, I enjoy.
Okay, an example, please, of some snacks you love, like you ate
Like
at
all
home?
these muruku or some of these snack-ku, whatever, yeah.
Okay. So Chu, that's for you. Open it. Have it try.
All right. Shiitake mushroom crisps. This is my first time trying this, actually. Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Super crunchy. I don't know how this is healthy, man. It's
You
just
need more
mushrooms.
beers after this.
The amount of seasoning on them,
Yeah.
definitely not healthy.
The seasoning, yeah.
Well,
No-
still,
No added MSG. Okay.
it's pretty tasty.
Maybe they're using a mushroom koji or mushroom garum, that kind of thing.
He's setting the bar really high.
Yeah, I don't think this company is making mushroom garum.
Okay, this is really good.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Raymond. For you, Chu, so you keep.
All right, thank you. We can all have this.
Um,
So I brought Mami Monster.
Okay, classic.
Okay,
Classic.
So this is childhood snack for me, something I grew up with. Again, in line with the whole modernization of food and instant noodles for a year. This is the baked version. All right, and why I think this is so awesome is because for me, they were the ones that started the whole put your seasoning in it and then shake it up. So that's where I think this is my favorite snack.
Nice. Is it also, so you're saying it's special to you because it's just it's nostalgic food?
It's nostalgic. I think it's really tasty. They have a series of different flavors as well. And it's just fun to eat.
Chicken is the same as flavor, I'm guessing.
Yeah, chicken is the flavor. There's like tom yum flavor as well now, which I have not tried.
Okay, so I have a quick question for you. Do you still eat Mami Monster today?
If there's a packet lying around and nobody's watching, yes.
Man, I haven't had Mami Monster in ages. Have you put the seasoning in already?
I think they are seasoned already.
Is it seasoned? This is not the... Oh,
This one.
yeah, here we go.
Oh.
Oh my god, it still tastes the same. Actually, even without the seasoning, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's still very. It's a bit of a like umami.
This is one of my favorite childhood snacks as well.
Good stuff.
When I was young, right, I actually put this like cold like Maggi mee just to try to see.
Hot water.
Yeah.
Does it work?
It works.
Really?
It works. It works.
Wow, never.
Yeah, so this is one of my favorite snacks. If you're talking about buying it from a packet, but I don't usually snack on this kind of food. I would snack more on things like keropok lekor, pisang goreng, the mak kiok, the fried doughs.
Mak kiok.
Mak kiok.
Like the yao zha kwai
No,
store.
yao zha kwai.
Oh, okay. Like,
But they're more usually more L-shaped.
I see.
Yeah, a lot more fried.
Hey, so Chu, you're a dad, right?
Yes.
Do you let your kids snack on snacks like this?
That's why I say if I see one lying around, because he probably gets it to me before I do. Yeah, I mean, a little bit of snacks is fine. We still try to get him to eat healthy, but I mean, snacks is fun.
Okay, so last question for you guys. For the snacks that you shared for each other, how would you, let's say you're feeling fancy at home, and you want to eat this snack, you want to eat your mushroom crisp, you want to eat your Mami Monster, how do you lux it up at home?
There's no luxing this up anymore. This is like top tier.
It's top tier,
It's top
okay.
tier.
Very high praise.
Yeah.
No accidental caviar in the packet.
It will taste good with the caviar.
Instant noodles, Maggi curry, you throw some scallops in there.
Oh.
It gets all that seafood flavor. Oh, so good.
Okay. It's clearly instant noodle fanatic. I didn't know you were such an instant noodle person. How about you, Raymond? How do you pluck?
Since I brought the mushroom, then probably with the truffle.
Truffle? Like fresh truffle?
Fresh truffle with even drizzle a bit of truffle oil, I think.
Somewhere laying around the whole house, you just pour a little bit of truffle oil inside.
Yep.
Why would you have that laying around the house?
You guys are chefs.
Okay. Normally my chiller is empty at home, almost empty.
It's like the opposite.
So, but I do have truffle oil in the chiller.
Yeah, you don't have truffle oil laying around the house, Drew?
No. Only like 4 different types of soy sauce.
That's pretty good. All right, okay. On that note, we're going to bring this episode to an end. Thank you, Raymond and Chu, for coming and being such fantastic guests on the show. And on that note, we're going to bring this episode to an end. I'm Tian, and thanks for tuning in to Chew on This, where always we bring you in on the